What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 181 of The Spectators. My name is Julian. I'm here at Brooklyn. What's going on? Welcome in. Happy first week of the MLB season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm loving it, bro. We get baseball back. The Yankees look fantastic as always. Until we don't.
Until we don't.
That's the way. That's the way it goes.
Uh-huh.
But I'm loving it, bro. Baseball's back.
Baseball is, in
Like
fact, back. Truly.
what?
Like, super back.
It bro. The off season went by so quick.
More back than you'd ever believe. It really did go by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of zoomed. I think it was because, like, the free agency was, like, kind of spread out a lot. Partly because of sports have just been great in general this year, which has been really nice. And before we get into all the baseball talk, I do want to talk a little bit about the sports in general because it has been a great year. We just had the women's national championship happen last night. Caitlin Clark might be the best female athlete ever. Not actually, but she might be the best college basketball player ever, actually. And in men's or women's, she has been that dominant. And her season did not go the way that I was kind of hoping. I was rooting for Iowa and her to win it, but LSU looked insane. They just dominated the whole way through. So shout out to LSU winning the national championship. Congratulations to those ladies over there. They were amazing this season. I think they lost 3 total games. That's typically a good recipe. You lose less than you win, you're probably going to do pretty well. And they did that quite a bit. So shout out to them and Caitlin Clark. We also had the men's final tonight, UConn versus SDSU, the strangest Final Four of all time. But with that being said, you had 3 teams that historically were pretty good at basketball in Miami, SDSU, and UConn. So although it was weird and the teams haven't been good recently, the Final Four was really fun, and we got an SDSU game winner. UConn beat the brakes off Miami like they did everybody else. And I fully expect UConn to do that again tonight. So if you guys are betting, probably bet on UConn by at least double digits because they've been doing it to everybody. And this UConn team, talent-wise, isn't one of the best, but in terms of dominance in the tournament, if they do win tonight, might have one of the best runs of all time in terms of just dominating everybody. So it's a historic year with a historic amount of upsets and all that. So pretty cool for March Madness. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I love seeing 2 fresh faces
Which is weird calling UConn fresh since they're a blue blood, but it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So welcome back, UConn.
And the men's UConn team ain't as good as the women's, so.
These days they're kind of the same. UConn women's have not won. They haven't won.
No, I know, but they went on a stretch of just
maybe the greatest stretch like ever.
So
they're
you
crazy.
look at that like
Was it 3 straight years they didn't lose a game? Like
they're better. They're just better.
They really were. So again, shout out to UConn. They're always great at basketball, men's or women's, and they made it back. And just keep an eye out on that tonight. That's gonna be fun. I'm excited for watching that and seeing who the new champion is.
Yeah, absolutely. And last night we had a quirky little bit where we had us and the boys just sitting there watching WrestleMania too.
Yeah, and WrestleMania was crazy. I do want to say WrestleMania, the way it ended, was lame, and the people who run it are stupid. They don't know how to push storylines and make them actually feel like rewarding. I don't know. I thought the ending was dumb. And having like a really great day and 2 days worth of fights and entertainment end on like an interference on a great fight that kind of just ends is pretty lame. So
yeah, because they were setting up everything so well with Cody Rhodes, and like the fans were behind him, and each week like they were getting louder and louder rooting for him, and the story was just looking crazy. And it sucks that it had to go that way because I don't think they could replicate like the intensity and the emotion behind all that again.
yeah.
So it's going to be tough to make Roman lose because he's on this stretch of almost getting to 1,000 days now.
It's
one
gonna
of the
be
longest.
1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, make him go to 1,000. But how do you make him lose now? Like,
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
It was weird, but it was fun. I haven't like watched wrestling in a while, and shout out TikTok because I've been seeing a lot of stuff that have just been getting me back into it, and I think they got me. I don't know. I think they got me, but
Yeah,
it was fun to see it.
It was fun. I did hate that ending, and that was something that would keep me away. But it was a good time regardless, and I did enjoy it. So shout out to all of that. It was a great weekend for sports in general. Again, WrestleMania, Final Fours, And we got baseball back. It's a good time. But
And we got
today, we're
baseball.
here to talk baseball specifically. And what we're going to do is we are 3 games in. Some teams are playing right now. The Mets are tied 0-0 with Milwaukee. The Mets are
We
probably
got the
going to
game
met.
on, so
Yeah. Mets are
if you
probably
see
going to
us
met at some
react,
point. Don't worry about
there
it.
you go. Don't worry about
But
it.
we're going to talk about the first weekend and the first series of the year because everybody got their first series in. I know it's a 4-day kind of a baseball weekend. We had that day off just in case teams rained out, blah, 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 blah. First weekend of baseball. Everybody's got 3 games in. There are a couple of undefeated teams. We're looking at the Rays. We're looking at the Rangers. And we're looking at the Twins. A couple of teams without a win. Obviously, the teams they played. That's how that works. Duh.
Math is crazy.
Math is wild. But we're going to go over overreactions, underreactions. Brooklyn's going to give one. I'm going to give one. And the other will give their opinion on whether it's an overreaction or an underreaction to just 3 games being played. Brooke said he had some stuff ready. So we're going to start with him. And take it away.
I do. So, yesterday we're watching the games, and Jude could give you the little nugget that our boy Lawbanger gave us. Shout out. But Trout and Otani went back to back, combined for 881 feet of home runs, right?
A lot of feet.
It's a lot of feet, and they're 2 talented guys, so they could hit a lot of homers. Is it an overreaction that combined they could hit 75 home runs?
No. In fact, I don't think it's not an overreaction. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
If Mike Trout stays healthy, which last year he didn't, and he still hit 30.
Yeah.
If Mike,
and that's why I even put it as over.
no, it's not weird. If Mike Trout's healthy and Shohei's healthy, which Shohei hasn't not been healthy, but like obviously with the stress he's always putting on his arm and the amount that he's playing, that's always a concern. That's always been the concern with Shohei. If they're both healthy and Trout plays 70% of the season, I'm not asking a full season. I'm saying 70%. Take 2 weeks off with a little hamstring tightness. I don't care. If he plays 70% and Shohei just plays like he has been the last 4 years, they're hitting 80. Like I'm saying Trout hits 43 and Shohei hits 37, like type of 80. Like they're going to be that crazy.
Fair.
Oh, and one of them wins MVP if they're both that healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 75 from both of them would be insane.
That's so many home runs.
It's so many home runs.
Hey, I mean, listen, you say 75 is a lot, but what was it? Judge and Glaber hit 85 last year.
Well, I mean, when you when you got somebody hitting,
yeah, it's the classic Kobe. It's like, dude, me and Kobe had 81 points that night. Yeah, Kobe had 81. Yeah, Kobe had 81. But I don't see why they wouldn't if they're healthy, because these are 2 guys that they've kind of generated their swings these days, especially Trout. As you've seen Trout's career go on, which, shout out Mike Trout, that's the jersey I'm wearing right now. He's changed his swing as his career has gone on to much more of an uppercut. He is a launch angle merchant these days. He hits every ball, which I have a cool Trout stat. He has 6 of the 7 balls he's put into play this year at 100 miles an hour or harder. Only one of them is a hit. It was that home run. That's how that goes.
Go ahead and give the little Lawbanger nugget too that happened when we were watching the game.
He was telling us right as he hits that home run, Trout was 1 home run away from tying the most amount of home runs ever hit against the Oakland Athletics in history. And as the graphic is on the screen in the game, he hits the home run to tie that. So Trout is officially the all-time father of the Oakland A's.
The graphic was still on the screen as the ball was going through the air.
So sad. So I clicked over real quick and then catch a Shohei home run. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was electric.
So yeah, it's not an overreaction. I think they'll do it. I don't see why they wouldn't, like, at all.
Fair enough.
That's just me. Now I have one. Overreaction or underreaction? After Adley Rutschman's first series and how good the Orioles offenses looked, Adley Rutschman on opening day went 5 for 5 with 4 RBIs.
Okay.
The first player ever to do that, and he joins 2 other players to ever go 5 for 5 with multiple RBIs on opening day, Billy Herman and Babe Ruth.
Damn.
Is Adley already, without even a full season of play, it's a little over a half a season and an opening weekend, the best catcher in baseball already?
Best catcher in baseball.
Overreaction, underreaction. He is the best.
And I mean, you're taking all his stuff into consideration, or
Everything. I
just
mean,
right? Yeah,
everything. The defense, the switch hitting, the flashes of power. Clearly, there's like ability to just get on base. Right, 5 for 5, pretty good.
yeah. I'm trying to think like who else, but nobody
Will
really
Smith,
stand.
Jose
Yeah, like
Trevino, Cal
yeah,
Raleigh.
like they're solid. They're solid, but just off of like also potential and where he could be.
It's not potential. I'm talking right now. If you're ranking
Yeah,
how they currently are, it's an overreaction to say that he's the best in baseball.
I'm gonna say overreaction. I'll put him like top five to yeah, I'll put him like top five. But again, those two that you mentioned, just what we've seen from them, I gotta put them ahead. Like there's still a lot that we have to see from Adley, but I mean there's no knocking what he did opening day. Like that's impressive.
Yeah, he's been really good.
That's impressive. So
I'm go
I'll
I'm seeing you. You want a little bit more of a sample. I'm already saying he's the best. I think he's the best catcher in the game
okay.
already.
Yeah.
I like Will Smith. I think Will Smith's awesome. He's probably the next best guy, more or less. I think he's great. I think Adley just brings a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Now, if we're going projections,
Yeah.
I'm putting him number one.
Yeah.
But just right now, I'm gonna go with overreaction.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
What you got for me?
So, is it a overreaction or underreaction to say that stolen bases are broken right now and are too powerful? Looking back last year at 2022, opening day, there's 5 stolen bases.
Okay.
Opening day this week was 21 stolen bases. Okay. The whole opening weekend last year, 17. How many do you think were stolen in the 3 games?
I think it was 70, right?
There were 70 stolen bases. We knew base running and stolen bases were going to be up. We knew that. 70 opening weekend is wild. So,
Now-
is it an overreaction or underreaction that they're broken?
I think it's an underreaction, or I don't think they're broken. Whichever the answer is to that, I don't think they're broken. I think obviously we need a bigger sample size, and I'd like to see the teams that use them more, records, runs scored, that type of stuff, right? Because because you could lead the league in steals and still be the worst offense in the league. Like those two things do not have to be hand in hand. So stealing doesn't correlate directly to production offensively, but it could obviously help, and it could put pitchers in difficult situations. The games that you and I saw the most were the Yankees. Guess what? The Yankees stole like 4 or 5 bases this weekend. I saw Gleyber Torres steal a bag. I saw Aaron Judge steal a bag. I saw Anthony Volpe steal 3 bags.
Yeah, shout out Volpe.
Yeah,
Great opening weekend for them.
Yeah, he only got 1 hit, and he stole 3 bags. So whenever he was getting on base, he was making some damage happen and making pitchers uncomfortable and making some scary pitches happen. So I think stealing is just fun, right? Like it makes mundane things like a walk feel more important. You're not going to walk a guy, or not going to want to walk a guy that has the ability to steal. And I think a really, really good residual, specifically for a guy that we like that happens to wear 99 and be the captain of the New York Yankees, again, to go back to them. How are you going to intentionally walk Aaron Judge this year? If he's hitting the way Aaron Judge started the year, which has been insane, he's been unreal, already has 2 home runs. If he's hitting the way he's hitting, and Aaron Judge already proved that he could steal bases. I think he stole 10 or 12 last year.
No.
Now you're going to put them in better opportunities to steal with the bigger bags, and the you're not able to pick off as much, and rhythms kind of get messed up when you're trying to hold runners on. If you walk Judge and he just steals second, that's bad. You're just putting a guy on for free to second base.
Imagine a 30-30 season Judge.
It's not going to happen.
I don't know.
But I don't see why a 40-20 doesn't happen. A 50-25 doesn't happen. I don't see him stealing 30 or 30 plus. Like I don't think he's going to be on
Mm,
first that often to be stealing with situations like that. But and I don't think he's going to want to steal 30 bags, like realistically. But
yeah.
it's clearly there, and clearly stealing is more prevalent. So guys like him, guys like I'm not sure who else is like a power guy that might steal, like a Trey Turner. Obviously, you don't want him on the bag, especially now. Trey Turner's going to steal 40 bags this year. Jazz Chisholm might steal 40 bags this year. Julio Rodriguez might steal 40 bags this year. Like, I'm not kidding when I say 40, and that is a giant number of steals, and it might be real because there's already multiple guys with 3+ stolen bases, and we are 3 games into the season. So
No, absolutely. And I think it's a product of like early in the season, people are probably like not really expecting it to be that high, so they're not doing what they need to do to counteract it.
yeah,
If that makes sense. I definitely think it evens out a little bit. Like it's not gonna go down too much, but we're not gonna have
70
70.
every weekend.
Yeah. I think it'll calm down a little bit once like catchers are really popping throws over the
Throwing
first
throws,
base
yeah,
and
because you're allowed to do that
and
as many times as you want. So
yeah, throwing the second for no reason, like once they strike somebody out or and anything like that. So yeah, I agree with you, but it is crazy.
yeah,
So
it is, and we need a big sample size, obviously, to see if scoring
yeah,
winds up going up with the teams who steal a lot. It would be nice if they did. I think scoring in general more in baseball would be good because it's hard to score with how hard and difficult pitchers have just become. I mean, the worst pitchers in the league throw sinkers that move 4 inches horizontally of tilt. Like, that's the worst
yeah,
pitcher in the league now. Does that. So it's really hard to score. So getting guys in position, and it kind of brings small ball back, which I don't like small ball like at all because it didn't make sense
no,
before. No, I mean, why would you waste a full inning to try and maybe score 1 run? Doesn't make sense to me. But now you get a guy on, you steal him. You,
yeah.
now you more so guarantee a run with just a walk, just to initiate it. It makes it a little bit more. You need a run, let's go get one, as opposed
Yeah,
to
and the
like
thing
let's
with
hope
stolen
for a long ball.
bases, the thing with stolen bases too, like I don't know how many of those 70 were like second to third steals,
Mhm.
but how often are you really doing that? So they get the second, cool. Now you got a guy in scoring position.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's not like they're stealing second, stealing third,
Yeah.
stealing
We'll get
home.
we'll
Like
get more results obviously as more games go on. But stealing is definitely fun, and it's been pretty exciting so far too.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
If there's 70 in a weekend, cool.
I have another over or under reaction. All right, I mentioned some of the teams that were undefeated.
Hmm.
I'm not going to talk about all of them. I think the Rays are really good. I
Hmm.
think the Rangers just for whatever reason own the Phillies. They've won 14 straight games against the Phillies going back over the last handful of years. So we won't talk about those. The one I want to talk about is the Minnesota Twins. They get new uniforms. They get a bunch of new guys. They bring in Pablo
Yep.
Lopez. He shoves. I think it was opening day. Sonny Gray had a good start. Joey Gallo comes in, hits 2 home runs yesterday. They wind up scoring a lot of runs. Is it an overreaction? I know they played the Royals, so we got to chill out a little bit. But is it an overreaction to feel confident with the Twins pitching staff after giving up 4 runs all weekend?
Um, I mean, I wouldn't say overreaction. Like you could be confident with them after that because still you're playing major league squads regardless. Like 4 runs in a weekend, you could hold your head high off of that. Now, is it confident that they're going to make a World Series run? No, no. I mean, you could be confident that they'll lead them to some wins. So I mean, shout out.
Yeah, and I mean, Joe Ryan looked great.
Yeah,
Pablo Lopez looked good. Sonny Gray looked good. Obviously, Joe was already there, but bringing in Sonny and and Pablo,
yeah,
pretty nice. Pablo had 8 strikeouts too, so it was a pretty good game.
yeah.
I don't know. I do think the Royals kind of just suck. Is definitely just
No,
part of it.
I do too. Yeah,
But
but
they're undefeated, and playing 3 teams like that, it's hard to win baseball games, man. It's really
it
hard.
is. It is. Now I'll double down on that. There was one over under that I was gonna do, but I didn't. Um, and I'll just throw it on here for you. Um, Joey Gallo, like you mentioned, he looked good. He looked good. Is it an overreaction to say that Gallo returns to form and is a really pivotal part in this offense?
No, I think it's an overreaction. I think it's an overreaction. He
Okay.
gets a hold of two of them. Super happy for the guy. There's nobody I'm
Yeah.
rooting for more in baseball than Joey Gallo. I think he's a great dude, super athletic. When he's right, and he hasn't been right in a while now, but when he's
Yeah.
right, he is one of the most fun players to watch. Um, I don't think the shift ban helps him that much because he hardly puts the ball in play anymore. Like
Yeah.
he's always been a high strikeout guy. He already has 4 on the season, which granted his whole team all has 4. The Twins love striking out. They're gonna strike out they might break a strikeout record, the Twins, this year. Dear Lord, I'm so serious. They
What
might break a
is the
strikeout record.
record?
I don't know, but it's probably way more than ever should be. They might break a strikeout record with how much they're going down. They have 26 already in the weekend. Like that's not ideal. He's gonna strike out a lot. I mean, hey, if he winds up hitting 29 home runs, does that count as back? Probably. What's the strikeout record? What's the strikeout record?
Oh my God. It was by the Chicago Cubs
Okay.
in 2021.
Okay.
So Javi Baez probably
Yeah.
led the team
Had to
with
have.
this.
Had to have.
1,596 strikeouts. Oh my God.
Can you give me that number again?
1,596 strikeouts by the Chicago Cubs in 2021.
You know what that averages out to be? 9.8 strikeouts a game. They were striking out 10 times a game. You could chalk them, write it in the books, bank it for 10 Ks a game.
Now the highest before that was not far off. It was in 2019 by the Tigers. They had 1,595. So the Cubs had one more strikeout. And
Shout out to Javi Baez. Shout out to Javi Baez. It was definitely Javi Baez. Yeah, I mean, hey, look at the Twins. I'm telling you, watch out. Watch out. Yeah, I think Joey will hopefully be good for them, but I don't think he's actually going to be.
Okay.
It'll even out to the Joey we've seen, sadly.
Fair. Love the 2 home runs though. Shout out.
I love the 2 home runs. Like he's a king for that. He's a king for that.
Yeah.
Do you have another one for me?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Is it a overreaction or underreaction that the Rays will have the best pitching staff in the league?
It's a perfect reaction. They will. Yeah, they will. No, I think that was my prediction probably before the year. I think I said they were going to be number 2. I thought it was going to be the Yankees and then the Rays. Then the Yankees lose Montas. They lose Rodon. They lose Severino. So losing one of those guys would have put the Rays ahead for me. They lost 3 of those guys. Yeah, I don't think that's even remotely an overreaction. The Rays have the most well put together bullpen in the league. I don't think it's the best bullpen in the league. It's the most well put together, which I know that sounds stupid, but like it tracks. They know their lanes. Yeah. They pitch the lanes really well, and they have guys in lanes for specifically ground balls. They have guys specifically for strikeouts. Like it works out for both sides of the arms, right? And then now, yesterday, Jeffrey Springs. I don't know if he's looking like this year. I am scared. Jeffrey Springs last year, first of all, owned the Yankees. Every time I watched him pitch, he decimated us. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't want to see a Rays team that has 4 deep in the starting rotation that are legitimately good. Sometimes you'll get a guy in the Rays rotation that's not actually good, but they pitch well. And sometimes they just kind of pitch well that game. But if you got him in the playoffs, like you're not worried about him. 6 innings, 12 Ks, 1 walk for Jeffrey Springs as their 3rd starter because Glasnow's still not back because that man has glass bones, paper skin. Is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's actually terrifying because McClanahan's going to deal. So, I don't think it's no reaction at all.
Shout out.
Yeah.
I probably agree.
Yeah, no, they're going to be disgusting. And, we said it before. I don't think they'll win the division, but I think they're like the scariest AL East team for the playoffs. So, It's kind of a weird dichotomy. I understand it
Yeah.
sounds stupid, but I promise I feel like it tracks. I promise. What's another one I got for you? There are quite a few. I do like that Rays one though. Shout out to the Rays. Shout out to Tampa. We'll be making our way over to some games. I know we're going for like a bobblehead night or two. I got like you can't see them because of the way we're cut out, but I got 4 Rays bobbleheads right here. I am not a Rays fan. I hate the Rays. I got 4 Rays
Yeah,
bobbleheads.
I got a few of them too.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of what happens when you're around. You know,
We got DJ Kitty over there in the cut too.
dude, I
So
do have DJ Kitty. I'm not bringing DJ Kitty out. If there's
I'm
anything we're
not
not
either.
doing is that. What's another one I could do? I was gonna go with the Rays because Wander Franco's hitting 636 right now, but we'll avoid that. We'll avoid that. Luis Ariz is where I'll go. Luis Ariz.
Okay, I like that. I was actually gonna
Luis
take it there.
Ariz has 9 hits in the first weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has 9 hits in the first weekend. Obviously, the Marlins are not very good. The Marlins are not really gonna be very good. Gonna lose a lot of baseball games. They're 1-3. They were one of the 4 teams that actually had a 4-game weekend. They played in Miami, so there was domes. They didn't have to take that day off. Everybody should have a dome in baseball. I don't know why we don't. Please get them. Retractable roofs. I'm begging you. Right? Everybody.
Yeah.
In their games, and this is not going to be fun to say out loud, they scored 3, 2, 2, and 1. That's not good. If you didn't know, 8 runs in 4 games is quite horrible.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Luis Ariz had 9 hits in their 4 games. Is it an overreaction to say that Luis Ariz is going to lead the league in hits and batting average, and the Marlins will have the worst offense in the National League? It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's an overreaction at all. It has every possibility of happening. Because I mean, Luis Ballin has nothing to do with.
Yeah.
with
If he
how
can't
good-
score, and if they can't score,
yeah. So I mean, that's tough. That's tough. I hate that. But yeah, I mean, no, that that got my brain twisting and tumbling.
yeah.
Yeah, it could definitely happen. Luis could definitely lead the league in hits, batting average, and the Marlins could be hot doo-doo. So
Yeah. I think it's exactly what's going to wind up happening.
Now, with that being said, I don't think the Marlins end up being hot doo-doo. I do think they're above that.
Doo-doo. They're above doo-doo.
I think they're above doo-doo. I don't know. I don't know what the scale is for that.
What's the doo-doo scale look like?
I could not tell you, but they just stink. That's it. They just stink. They ain't shower. They didn't shower.
Please
They're a little
shower.
musty. They're just a little musty.
Weesh. Please.
That's it.
Please.
So from hot doo-doo, they go to musty.
Okay. You got another one for me.
Crazy scale.
Crazy scale.
Yes. Is it a over or under reaction that Aaron Judge recreates his insane season last year?
Overreaction. As much, I mean,
Yes.
let's start this out by saying Aaron Judge started last year, not great. He didn't hit a home run
No.
for the first week and a half, and then
Yeah.
obviously hits all the home runs he does, breaks the AL
Yeah,
record.
we thought he was trash off of that.
We're like, wow, is he hurt?
Yeah.
And I think that there's a realm of possibility that Judge has a better overall season than he did last year because he wasn't his best defensively last season. And he could hit for like the same average or something of that nature, and the Yankees wind up winning more games. And he hits for like 7 less home runs, and I might chalk it as a better season. It just might be that type of situation because him hitting 55 home runs while hitting 344 with like a 1.3 OPS and like a 9 WAR is really good. And I don't know what his projections are. I'm sure they're nowhere near that high, but
He messes around and gets a triple crown this year.
yeah, if he hits if
55.
it wins a triple crown with 54 or 52 or 49, like you don't even need 50 to get a triple crown. 40's a lot of home runs. He had 60 something. So,
Now,
I
now
don't
what
think.
if all the numbers drop and he hits 70?
Listen, listen. If Judge hits more home runs than he did last year, put him in the Hall of Fame after that last game of the season. Just do it. Just put him in. I don't care.
Yeah,
Check
yeah,
him, test him. If he's clean, put him in. If he's dirty, put him in. I don't care.
yeah. Put him in.
I don't care. So I don't think he will. I think it's pretty unreasonable to think he will, but
Yeah.
it's you know.
No, I fully agree. I think he'll have a great season. Recreating that. There was so much involved in that. Like you're playing for the contract, you're getting doubted, like you're feeling disrespected.
Maybe having a contract makes him play like a little bit looser. Maybe he was playing tens last year, and like he needs a little bit loosey goosey, and now he got it. I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know because you get the contract, you get the captain title, you get all of that. So it's like, what happens? Because contract years
Are so weird.
after you get your contract are the scariest things to me.
They typically go down.
You're
Stat-wise,
typically so bad after.
Yeah.
And it's been like proven time and time again with so many players. Like,
Yeah.
please show me somebody who balled out more or like was consistently skill wise for that season after they got their contract.
Yeah.
Because off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody.
I mean, there's a lot of guys in like basketball, but in baseball, it goes down pretty like significantly. Typically, not always, but typically.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Harper and Machado are different examples, but they were younger when they got their deals too. Like you typically don't get your deals until your Judge's age, more or less. Like he's what 32 this year.
But I'm specifically just talking about the year, the season you signed that contract. So you signed it 2023, that season. So
No,
they're always scary to me. But I do think he'll have a great season.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Recreating it though. Not recreating it.
Nah, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Where do I want to go next? Who had the better performance? And I mean, I guess it's not an overreaction. Here's what I'll say: overreaction or underreaction. Dylan Cease this weekend against the Astros gets a win, strikes out 10
Mm-hmm.
on the day that they're wearing their gold jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Had the best pitching performance of the weekend.
Okay.
Overreaction or underreaction?
Probably just perfect. Like I don't really I don't really think
Proper. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think too high or too low of it. Like probably. You look at Garrett Cole too. He had a great outing as well. Struck out 11.
Logan Webb looked good too. Again, Jeffrey
Logan
Springs.
Webb. So
I'm looking specifically at Cease because again, the reigning champ Astros who improve offensively. It was opening night against Jose Abreu, which felt like not like a get back at you game, but you know, it's Jose Abreu coming back against his first team immediately. Like he had never played for another team, plays the White Sox, didn't have a particularly great series. Dylan Cease comes in, again, doesn't walk a single batter. I think strikes out 10, gives up 1 run, gets a win. The White Sox like have expectations, but like only in organization. A lot of people don't think they're going to do great. Team situation, place in Houston. That's why I feel like it was the best.
Well, here's why I disagree.
Okay.
On top of the contracts, where you might play bad after you sign them, there's one other thing that's always a lock. Whenever there's an award ceremony or you're celebrating something as a team or there's a presentation, your team plays like trash.
Every year.
Every year, every circumstance, every event. I don't care what it is. Banner raising, ring ceremony, Hall of Fame, rafter.
Always bad.
You suck.
No.
So I'm not looking too deep into that. It's whatever.
That's funny.
It is what it is.
Hey, Dylan Cease is going to be one of those guys this year. He's gonna
Yeah.
be that dude. I promise. So
I got no doubt about that.
yeah.
The argument ain't that Cease is gonna be a bum. It's just I don't care about that win that much, or performance to say the least.
Yeah. The win's obviously big. Beating the Astros is a
Yeah.
big deal. Well, cool. You have any more before we hop up out of here? We got games going on right now. The Mets are getting metted, getting slapped up.
I got one more. Is
Okay.
it a overreaction or underreaction that the Phillies are gonna have a World Series hangover from
Yes,
just
they will.
being there? Yeah,
Yes, yeah, they will. They
I
will.
agree.
And it sucks too because there's a lot of factors that go into it, right? I think the Castellanos regression over the years is obviously going to play a factor. I think Kyle Schwarber, as great as he is and as much of a power hitter as he is, he's not hitting 48 home runs again. I don't think he will. You add Trey Turner. Awesome. Trey Turner's now the best player on his team until Bryce Harper gets back, but Bryce Harper's out until the All-Star game. Like, there's a lot of things that I don't love about this team. There's a lot of things I do like about this team, but World Series hangovers are incredibly real. And getting off to losing 3 to the Rangers to start gives zero confidence in your ability to prepare for a season. Like, this was the first series of the year. This is the one you prepare for. You have months to prepare for this series. You know you're facing DeGrom. You know you're facing Martin Perez. Get it done. And they couldn't.
When does Reese come back too? Is
He just got hurt, so I think he's only on the 10-day, so it'll take another probably 2 weeks or so. Or was his injury worse than I'm thinking?
I think he's on the 60-day. I believe it was like a ligament.
I'm looking up right now.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was a ligament.
He tore his ACL. He's out for the year.
Okay.
He's out for the year.
So that's another big thing right there. Yeah.
He'll miss 7 and 9 months, so he's gone for the year. Yeah. So yeah. Without even realizing that, I forgot that Reese was hurt. I forgot that it happened. Yeah, the hangover for sure. They're not just hungover. They drank no water. They didn't eat the night before. There's no Pedialyte in sight.
Oh,
And they gotta work the next morning.
No,
it's a 9 a.m. Brutal.
Oh my, they're going to work drunk.
Clearly, they're 0-3. Clearly.
Yeah, I agree. I do think the hangover is going to be there as well. Hate to see it because, I mean, you look at the run as well that they had to make.
It was awesome.
Just to get there. Like, that takes a lot, and it takes even more to recreate that. Like,
it's so hard to do.
You caught lightning in a bottle. You ran with it. Congrats. Be proud of yourself. You did the thing. You're not doing it again. I hate it had to be you.
I hate I had to.
Just kidding. I don't. I hate the Phillies.
Yeah, Philly as a city got a lot of love and a lot of L's last year. So sorry if you're a Philly guy. Don't care.
Yeah, bozos.
You're lucky that the Flyers suck, or otherwise you go 0 for 4.
Man.
Or not 0 for 4. Because the 76ers are really good this year. But the Sixers ain't making the finals.
No, they're going 0 for 4.
Wait. No, they're going to go like 0 for 6. Because
we had the soccer team too,
well,
right?
because the soccer team lost, the Union lost, right? The Eagles lost, the Phillies lost. That's 0 for 3. Joel Embiid's not going to win MVP, 0 for 4. The Sixers are going to lose to Boston in the semifinals. That's 0 for 5. And the Flyers are going to be the worst team in the league, 0 for 6. Brutal. I mean, hey, most cities lose all the time every year, but when you have really good teams, it makes it even more difficult. Yeah, Embiid's not winning MVP. Let's like quick pivot for like 2 seconds. He's not winning MVP. It's Jokic or Giannis. Don't care.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I don't care.
That's it.
So 0 for 6 for Philly. Shout out to the city of brotherly love. Y'all need a hug. Good.
Oh man,
Y'all need a
you
hug.
gotta love it.
Yeah,
Truthfully,
I truthfully do.
yeah.
But that's all we got for you guys this week. I thank you guys again for watching and listening. If you guys want to check out all of our other content, at Spectators Media on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Got some great stuff coming for you guys. We got another event coming at the latter half of this month. So if you guys are in Tampa and you want to shimmy on over to our Sky Gallery, happen in downtown Tampa, make sure you check the link in all of our bios. There will
April
be
22nd
tickets
at the
over there at the
at the
attic.
attic.
It'll
April
be a good time.
22nd,
A lot of
April
great creative
22nd.
people coming around. BK is going to be featured. Big picture guy, big photographer guy, videographer, whatever words I'm saying. Words, the lips, the tongue. Um,
Oh,
you
whoa,
know,
we getting freaky. Hold up.
make sure you guys are following us. Leave a like and subscribe down below if you're watching this on YouTube. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 182. Hey, everybody. Peace.
Peace.